Hey guys, and welcome to the Advanced Rhythm playlist. In this series of lessons, we're going to be looking at odd time signatures, other types of notes, polyrhythms, polymeters, and some other cool stuff. So let's start off with odd time signatures. Let's get into it. So in a previous lesson, I talked to you about time signatures and gave you a basic overview of what this actually means. I told you that this represents the number of beats per measure, and that this represents the type of note. So in 4/4 time, there's 4 quarter beats per measure. Now, odd time signatures, they behave the exact same way. And here's a few examples of some odd time signatures. This is 5/8, 7/8, and 9/8. So again, the top number represents the number of beats per measure, and this one represents the type of note. So in 7/8 time, there are 7/8 notes per measure. In 9/8 time, there are 9/8 notes per measure, and so on for any sort of odd number on the top. Now, the real trick comes when you actually start to count these things, and I think that's where a lot of people really kind of get confused. I know that's where I got confused with actually counting odd time signatures. So here's an example of a 5/8 time signature, and you can just quite simply just count up to 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or these are actually eighth notes, so it would be 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Or you could just count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming into 7/8 time signature, things get a little bit more confusing because the word 7 itself is 2 syllables. So if you were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're kind of adding in an extra eighth note there, and at that point it becomes like an 8/8 time signature. So what I've seen a lot of people do is they just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instead of 7. So you can do it that way, or what you guys can do, what I really prefer doing is grouping it in groups of either 2s or 3s. So in 5/8 we have a group of 3 and a group of 2. And to really get the push-pull feeling of a 5/8 time signature, you would accent the first beat on each one of these groups. So I would count this one 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And you kind of get that push-pull of that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 going. And the same thing you can do with 7/8 is just divide it up into groups of 2s or 3s. So this one would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Now you can also switch up the order of this. You don't have to start with 3 right in the beginning. This could be, you could put a 2 here, so it'd be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You can arrange these groups of 2s or 3s any way you want, as long as there's 7 notes. And that's how you would count 7/8 time. You can do that same thing for 9/8 as well, and any other time signature. 9/8, you can do it in groups of 3. You can divide some of these up into groups of 2, and so on. Okay, that's all I have for this lesson. It's like I said, it's just really just breaking things up into groups of 2s or 3s, and that's how you count odd time signatures. It's really not as hard as a lot of people think. In the next lesson, we're going to be taking a look at different types of notes, stuff like triplets, dotted notes, and other tuplet notes is what they call it. So I hope to see you guys there.